What's good, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. This video is sponsored by the MISFA program, and it's going to be talking about the Carte Imagine'R. Now, you might have heard of this if you're a student or you're planning on studying abroad in France. This card allows you to go through the 5 different zones in and out of Paris, as well as the entire Ile-de-France. That's pretty big. The things we're going to talk about in this video are what is this card, where to find it, and how to sign up for it. With all that in mind, let's get started. This card allows you to go through the 5 different zones in and out of Paris, as well as explore the entire Ile-de-France. This card gives you access to RERs, metros, buses, trains, tramways, and the night bus. You name it! God damn it! That's a lot of places, and you can seriously travel anywhere really with this card. First off, you have to be living in the Ile-de-France, so you need to have an address somewhere within that region. As well, you need to be under 26 years old. Now, as far as documents and evidence, you're gonna need 1. A photo of your face. Now, you can find these pretty much anywhere in Paris. There's a lot of booths within the metro called photomatons. Number 2, you're gonna need proof of enrollment in a French university. And lastly, you're gonna need a French bank account number. Specifically, this little piece of paper called the RIB, R-I-B. Now let's talk about the Navigo for a second. It's similar to the Carte Imagine'R, however the prices differ. The Navigo Pass also gives you access to travel through the Ile-de-France, but the Carte Imagine'R is way cheaper. Plus, you don't have to top off the card every month like you do on the Navigo. Overall, for the Carte Imagine'R, you have to pay a set amount per month. Now, if you do the math, it's actually cheaper than paying for the Navigo every single month.
Unplug that clock, boy. You can't tell time when you sleep. It's 2 cents an hour.
And the last thing I want to talk about are the sweet discounts that you can get from using your Carte Imagine'R. Once you receive your card, you also receive a small piece of paper. It's called the Bon Plan, which is like sweet deals basically. And with this, you can get great discounts at selected stores such as McDonald's, Apple, Pizza Hut, movie theaters, online shopping, and so much more. Now you're probably wondering, how do I get this card and where can I find the paper? To find these sweet deals, you first have to pick up a form, which you can find at any metro stop. Just go up to the desk person and ask if they have the papers to sign up for the Carte Imagine'R. Now, what you see might be different because the colors change every year. Inside of it, you're gonna find a pamphlet explaining how to fill out the form, the sign-up sheet, and the return envelope. This is all in French, so this is probably the hardest part, but honestly, it only takes about 10 minutes, and I'll show you how to fill it out. Now, if you look at the paper, it can be a bit overwhelming at first, but you'll notice it's divided up into 6 different sections, 6 parts. So starting up from the top, you have to fill out section 1, and that's gonna ask you gender, your last name, first name, really just basic stuff like that. You can skip the part that says numéro titulaire. You can skip that part, it's not important. After that, put down your French address so they know where to send the card to. And if you pick up your mail from another location, for example, the MISFA Study Abroad program, shouts out, make sure to indicate that on the form, but it's still going to you. So you could put Shay, whatever your name is. Now after you put your mailing info, it's gonna ask for your date of birth and your French phone number. Now don't forget, for the French, they put the day you were born first, before the month, and then the year comes at the end. It's a common mistake, so just make sure you don't switch those up. Telephone fix, you could skip that. It's like a landline, and we're in 2018, so put down your email as well, and we'll go to step 2. Now there's a little box if you want to get spammed emails from the Bon Plan, Carte Imagine'R people. I guess you could check out the box, but alright, step 2. First, write down the full name of your French university, and if you don't know what that is, just Google it. It's pretty self-explanatory, honestly. Just Google all the info you don't know, write it down, postal code, school address, all that. But I did mess up this step because I wrote it in English. No! I put university the English way, Mabi. Now the box you check on the right side depends on your education and studies. about 95% of people watching this video are going to want to check the checkbox Licence, Master, Doctorate. Most students applying for this card are going to fall between these this zone, really. Alright, now in this step, I should have mentioned this earlier, but there's a designated time window to apply for this card. Enrollment for the card opens during the beginning of fall and spring semester. Now the box you check here is when you want to officially start using your card. Example, I arrived in Paris in September 10, and I applied for the Carte Imagine'R. The card takes about 3 weeks to process and then get shipped to me. So for me, I'm going to want to choose October because that's when my card's going to begin and that's when my contract will start. Box 4, you can skip that. It's not important. Now for box 5, it's all about agreeing to the terms and conditions. So assuming you've read them or not, just write down the current date that you're filling out the contract, then sign your name at the top and the bottom. And step 6. Now step 6 is pretty thick. First off, it's divided into 3 smaller parts, so we're going to start off with 6A. Now this just wants to know how you're going to pay for the card. Now there's 2 options. You could pay all of it by check, or do 9 monthly installments, which, you know, I chose the 9. Now studying abroad ain't cheap, so I'm checking off the monthly plan. It's automatic, they take it out of your bank, and you do you. Now 6B is pretty easy. You literally just copy and paste the same information from step 1 and just put it into 6B. You're just copying info. Nothing new there, pretty simple. You can use whiteout and quickly just fix it, make it look neat, and just correct your error. It should be fine. And the last part, 6C, is probably the hardest part. It's asking for your banking info, so you're going to need that bank paper I told you to get. Now it's going to ask for your BIC and IBAN. After that, you're going to have to sign the date and the location that you fill the form out of. For me, I'm putting Paris, because that's where I signed it. And don't forget to sign your name at the very bottom, and put your photo at the very top. Double check to make sure you didn't skip any steps or misspelled anything, and then rip off the carbon copy on the back. That's going to be your receipt, so definitely keep it, because if anything were to happen, this is proof that you filled out the form. And that's basically it, man. Just put the signed out form into the envelope along with your photo ID and a copy of your student certificate or student card, and you're good. So yeah, that basically wraps up this video. I hope you guys found these tips helpful and that the process made sense. It is a little tricky. Anyways, shouts out to the Misefa for sponsoring this video for me. Thanks for watching. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.